Hello, and welcome back to Mindful Movement with Taylor. Today's session is a gentle guided flow designed to ease anxious thoughts, release overwhelm, and bring your nervous system back into balance. All you'll need is a mat or blanket. Go ahead and get comfortable, and when you're ready, let's begin. Start with your knees bent, sitting your hips back towards your heels. And then we'll slowly move into a child's pose, extending your arms long in front of you, sending your hips back towards your heels, and spreading your knees out wide. Bringing your big toes to touch and your forehead to the mat or blanket beneath you. Always an option to take any variations or modifications that feel good. Perhaps bringing your knees a bit closer together. Lifting your elbows off of the mat for more of a shoulder stretch. Or maybe spreading your big toes a bit farther apart. As you settle in, starting to tune in to your breath, taking deep inhales into your low belly and open mouth exhales. Flipping your palms towards the sky, relaxing through your shoulders. Continue with your breath. Deep inhales into your low belly and slow open mouth exhales. Relaxing through your shoulders, jaw, and abdominals, and sinking deeper and deeper into the pose. Slowly, with control, coming up through a tabletop, we'll transition into a puppy dog pose. It'll be a very similar position to your child's pose, except this time hips will be lifted directly over your knees with feet about hips width distance apart as well as knees. Palms face down, bringing your forehead to the mat. Really focusing on opening through your shoulders and chest here. Keeping your hips lifted, pressing your knees and forehead into the mat. Settle in, returning to breath. Inhaling deep into your low belly, filling all the way up through your abdomen, your chest, and finally your throat. And then taking a full, slow, open mouth exhale. Taking a few more of those, extending your exhales longer than your inhales. Let's stay for one more full inhale and full open mouth exhale before you transition back into tabletop and then sit your hips back towards your heels. Let's take a few shoulder rolls, rolling your shoulders one direction and then the other. Switching it out a few times here. Next, we'll transition into a lizard lunge, bringing your right foot outside of your hands about shoulder width distance planted on the mat, And your left leg will be back with your knee on the mat or blanket. Focus on pressing your hips towards the mat. An option to stay lifted or come down to your forearms to deepen through the stretch. Either keeping your right foot planted on the mat or blanket, or coming onto the knife edge of your foot, opening up through your hip even more. As you settle in, coming back to breath, always an option as we move through our flow today to close your eyes or soften through your gaze and just tune in to how the movements feel in your body. Staying here for one more full inhale and full open mouth exhale. And then slowly, with control, transitioning out of the pose, toe heeling your right foot to the left side of your mat or blanket, coming into a pigeon pose. Now you may want your right foot a little bit further up towards the top of the mat or blanket, or you may want it back towards your left hip, taking whatever feels comfortable, taking any modifications that you'd like. And you can either stay lifted with your chest open towards the front of your space, your palms on the mat or blanket, or you can come down to your forearms. If at any point you feel discomfort, you can always come onto your back for a lying figure 4 stretch, as it'll give you the same stretch as our half pigeon here. If this feels good and you're on your forearms, option to bring your forehead down to the mat to deepen the stretch even more. And perhaps you extend your arms long in front of you. Wherever you're at, coming back to breath, not pushing or forcing anything, and just settling in to the pose. Stay for one last deep inhale and slow open mouth exhale. Then slowly start to transition out of the pose, lifting back up if you were folded over, coming back to seated, and then taking a few windshield wiper knees here with your hands planted on the mat or blanket behind you, sending knees one direction and then the other, knees about hips width distance apart. And then we'll transition to a lizard-led stretch on the other side, bringing your left foot in front and toe heeling it to the outside of your hands on the mat about hips width distance or shoulder width distance apart, and planting your right knee on the mat behind you. Firmly pressing both palms into the mat or blanket space. And you can either stay lifted here, or if you'd like to deepen the stretch and it feels okay, you can come down to your forearms. If you feel pain at any point, lifting back up onto your palms, not pushing or forcing, just settling in. Taking one last full breath here. And then slowly lifting back up and toe heeling your left foot to the right side of your matter blanket. And then dropping your left knee to the matter blanket, moving into a half pigeon. You can take a peek over your left shoulder to even out through your hips. And either scooting your left foot towards the front of the matter blanket or scooting it back towards your hips, whatever feels best in your body. And you can either stay lifted with arms straight, chest open to the front of the space, or you can come down to your forearms. And as with the other side, you're more than welcome to take this into a lying figure 4, as you will get the same stretch from that and your half pigeon. And if you'd like, you can bring your forehead all the way down to the mat, maybe even extending your arms long in front of you. If at any point you feel any pain, coming back up to the previous variation and just settling in, not pushing or forcing, just relaxing. Stay for one more full breath, and then slow with control, lifting your chest if it's lowered, sitting to either side, bringing both legs out in front of you, and taking your windshield wiper knees, planting your hands behind you on the matter blanket, feet hips width distance or further apart, releasing through your low back. Next, we'll move into a one-legged seated forward fold, bringing your left leg to the inside of your right thigh and then folding over your right leg, bending as much as you'd like through your right knee and grabbing for whatever's accessible. So maybe just planting hands on the matter blanket, grabbing for your shin or calf, or maybe even your foot, and settling in. Staying for one more full breath here. Slowly rise back up, walking your hands towards your hips. Plant your left hand behind you and lift your hips up, opening through your chest and bringing your right arm out wide. Staying for an inhale, and then switching to the other side. Inhaling both arms long by your ears, bringing your right foot to the inside of your left thigh, and then folding over your left leg. Settling in here, bending as much as you'd like through your left knee. Slowly rise back up, this time planting your right hand behind you, lifting your hips and bringing your left arm out wide, opening through your chest, and then releasing back down. Find a seat in the center of your space. This is where we'll finish out our practice. Take one full inhale, reaching your arms long by your ears, and exhale, bring your hands through heart center. Thank you so much for joining me for this 15-minute gentle flow. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with a friend or family member, and subscribe to my channel. I will see you again soon. Be kind to yourself today.